It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brood Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. It is Wednesday, September 26, 2018. It's 7 a.m. And wow, we got some cooler temperatures, cloudy skies. And,
it is beautiful this morning.
Woo, yeah, where's your...
My goodness.
Where's your little... doo-doo-doo?
Whoop, 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 there. Whoop, whoop. Hey, where's your hat?
My hat's down here. Where's yours?
Why aren't you wearing it? Well, I can't. My headphones wouldn't fit over it.
From Arkansas Game and Fish, Dennis is here. Yay.
Hey, he brought us some really cool hats.
It's always good when Dennis stops by. We're going to have a lot of fun today on the show with Arkansas Game and Fish and Dennis Dunderdale. So stick around. Glad you're with us. And I'm enjoying Brood Awakening Coffee. Hope you're doing the same thing. 3 locations to serve you, as you heard Jacqueline say in the introduction. You got Balmer Boulevard, Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, and of course 62 East Plaza out by Anytime Fitness. It's out there by Walmart, you know. So check out Brood Awakening Coffee. They've got cinnamon rolls about that big. They've got...
Cinnamon rolls are excellent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, they're so good. Anyway, Brood Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town. You're still drinking water. It's not cold enough for Scooter coffee yet.
No,
one of these days you'll
got water.
Wait till it gets about 30 degrees. You'll be drinking some coffee. Right.
Yeah, I'm going to have to bring my own Your Potent coffee. I don't need any more hair growth.
Need a little lubrication here or there. I mean, it'll open up all cylinders here, Scooter.
I don't know if it's going to open it up or clog it. That's some thick. It's like drinking oil.
But it is good coffee. The best coffee in town, Brood Awakening Coffee. If you don't believe us, stop by and have a cup with us. And,
the coffee, now, joking aside, the coffee is excellent. We just make fun of Dale because he fills the whole canister.
Even the girls were here from Area Agency yesterday and saying, yes, it's good coffee. And what's funny was Doug yesterday with the governor's entourage was here yesterday afternoon. Oh, yeah, you'll be awake all night.
The one was sitting there, woo, this is the first time I've had your coffee.
Brood Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town. If you're not drinking Brood Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Brood Awakening Coffee, 3 locations to serve you in Mountain Home. And Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bringing the morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes, when it comes down to it, the need for your loved one, the service for your loved one, choose Roller Funeral Homes across the state of Arkansas. With all our respect, the utmost in professionalism and just work ethics where they just bend over backwards to serve you, to give you what you need for your loved one. So when the need arises, Roller Funeral Homes. Let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, well, Lord, the third accuser to Judge Kavanaugh has come forth, and now the bylines in the news media says, quote, this one has credibility, end of quote. What this really sounds like is a third grade play in the school auditorium where the students waiting for their big moment on stage, waiting off the stage in the wings, and the teacher says, now, remember what you're supposed to say, and the student nods her head yes. Lord, the opposition to Judge Kavanaugh has lost really all credibility. What it really boils down to is abortion issue. Who would ever imagine 50 years ago that the Democrats would now favor killing an unborn child? But, Lord, that's the world we live in, and I pray that you heal our country. That's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bring the morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes.
Dun, dun, dun.
There's that trumpet.
Dun, 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 dun.
Morning weather brought to you by Greg's Farm Services. Greg's Farm Services on the farm, around the home, and in the community. Greg's Farm Services is located at 6153 Highway 126 North in Gainesville, in Gassville, Arkansas. 1309 Bradley Drive in Mountain Home. You can call the main store at the Gassville location at 481-5165 if you have any questions. Go online with us. Join us here at gregsfarmservices.com. Greg's Farm Services on the farm, around the home, in the community. Checking out the store specials right now, the PetMate Barn Home. Save $5 to $10 on your choice there, 4 different sizes. Taste of the Wild throwback prices, 28 to 30 pound bags, $39.99. What else we got here? Twisted X Boots and Mocks, 15% off, all items in stock. Hummingbird feeders, 10% off. Go out and get you another hummingbird feeder, 10% off Corinthian Bell wind chimes. 5-gallon gas can, $7 off, now $11.49. Great price on that. The 70-quart muck tub, $15.99. Garden tools, the red fiberglass handles, your choice each, $7.99. Shovel, rakes, hose, whatever it may be. Going to be using some of those pretty soon when we start cleaning out the flower beds and getting ready for the winter and prepping for the spring. So now's your chance to get
live traps. Everybody can use a live trap.
Yeah. The other day I saw several possums on the way to work. One was little bitty. I mean, he just out.
At the farm, we use some live traps all the time.
What do you mainly go after? Skunks? Relocate a skunk or something?
We've gotten a skunk. Now that gets a little touchy.
Yeah,
it really does.
You just make sure he's got to have no room to get that tail up.
But at least you can take him out and set him back loose and
not harm him.
And get him out of you.
Check out the FlexRite garden hose, 50-foot length, $17.99 at Greg's Farm Services. Greg Farm Services on the farm, around the home, in the community. Greg's Farm Services brings you the morning weather each and every day. This morning we're starting the day in Mountain Home at 61 degrees.
Whoop, whoop.
Harrison at 59. Now this I'm starting to question. I don't know. It could be because the front's just not moving through. Hardy, Arkansas, along the beautiful Spring River is at 70 degrees, the same as Mountain View on the White River. 70 degrees there, maybe that temperature will go to dropping. Yellow's already at 61, while Marshall's at 70, Calico Rock at 61. Around the region, St. Louis has dropped to 58, Poplar Bluff is at 67, Branson at 57, West Plains at 58, while Watford City, North Dakota, in contrast, is 36 degrees, just 4 degrees above freezing already.
They can have it.
They can have it. Wow. Take a look at that national radar. Today's kind of one of those globby radars. You can see a lot of rain in West Texas or North. What would you call that? The upper part of Texas there that swings up and catches Oklahoma and New Mexico there. A lot of rain right here. In fact, let's check that. That's on the Frederick, Oklahoma radar stop, Scooter. A lot of rain in that part of Oklahoma and Texas. Hopefully that'll come our way. We could use a little bit more rain. I'm looking forward to the fall colors. And I think the more rain and cooler temperatures you get.
The fall colors are already coming.
Well,
I've got trees that are already red and orange and.
I don't know what's this thing doing. I'm getting two different reads here. Anyway, let's take a look at Little Rock, Arkansas. We'll get the entire state here. Scattered showers throughout basically the southern part of Arkansas. There is one just south of Jonesboro right now. Scattered showers along and north of I-30, along 40 and 30 there at Little Rock, North Little Rock. Kind of stretches south of I-40 east, north of Pine Bluff, but to the south of I-40 as you travel towards Memphis. I-40 west, not too bad a shape right now. Nothing really showing up there. Another shower just to the southeast of Texarkana. Are picking up just a light shower in Baxter County, and it's basically almost at the county line right now, going east on 62. Other than that, mainly the highways are clear in northern part of the state. I-49, 62, 412 east-west, and 65 going to Branson. Once you get to Batesville along 167, it's clear, and Highway 67, once you get past Searcy in that area, it's not too bad going to Poplar Bluff. And let's see what else we need to look at. Take a look at the state of Missouri for those that are traveling. Perhaps St. Louis stop. And light showers throughout the St. Louis area. I-70, Columbia to St. Louis. Looks like a little bit of shower activity. It might be affecting a little bit of I-44, about 50 miles west of St. Louis, around the Union area on the Highway 50 at I-44. You can see some showers southeast of Carbondale, Illinois, and to the east of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, affecting I-24 and I-57. In extreme southern Illinois. Southwest Missouri, we'll check I-44. A little bit of shower activity southeast of Tulsa. That puts it just almost west of Fayetteville, Arkansas. A little bit around I-44, Joplin, Springfield towards Rolla. And that's about, you can still see that little bitty shower showing up on the radar. The forecast coming up. And at this moment, I'm fighting a sneeze. I'll tell you what, I hate that. Excuse me while I sneeze. Excuse me. When it comes to live TV, there's no covering a sneeze. You just have to let it go. Right, Scooter?
There you go. It is what it is.
It is what it is. So excuse me for that. I'm sorry. Anyway, the forecast coming up once I get Mountain Home queued up here. Here we go. For today, we have a 20% chance of thunder showers and partly sunny with a high only of 70. Tonight, a low of 53 degrees. Tomorrow, decreasing clouds with a high of 73 and a low Thursday night of 54. Friday's supposed to be a nice, pretty day. High of 77. Friday night, low of 57. There's your football weather right there on Friday night.
There you go. I'm looking forward to this one.
We're going to Yellville. Yeah, it's going to be nice. Low of 57, so it's going to be cool enough for that ball game at Yellville, Arkansas on Friday night. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high of 77. Saturday night, 59 degrees is the low. Sunday, going to be a high of 79 with clear skies. It's going to be a pretty weekend.
I'm ready.
Yep. Going to be nice.
Bring it on.
Community calendar brought to you by Affordable Housing, 741-2883 if you need help with some affordable housing. This is rental property. Is that correct, Scooter? Affordable housing?
I believe so.
I believe so, yeah. Coming up this weekend, the Enlightened Women's Conference, Equip, Empower, Educate, shedding light on the darkness in our region. Make a stand against I can't talk today. What's wrong? I haven't had enough coffee. That's what it is. Taking Back Our Children takes place Saturday, September 29th at Real Life Church at 1326 Rossi Road. $30 per ticket. That includes lunch and a T-shirt. So if you need more information on this, 701-5078.
Mountain Home Parks has partnered with Arkansas Game and Fish to be hosting their third annual Fish Derby, and I know we've got Dennis here probably talk more about that, but Fish Derby will be held at Baker's Lake, located at McKay Park here on Highway 62 West. It'll be on September 29th between 9 a.m. and 12. This is a free event for all ages, 15 and under. If you own a fishing pole, bring it with you and have some fun. They'll be doing a lot of fun events and prizes. If you need any more information, you can give them a call, 424-7275.
Welcome Island Her Shoes, the big fundraiser for Serenity Incorporated, $25 minimum donation. Welcome Island Heals to benefit the victims of domestic violence, October 6th at 10 a.m. at Bomber Stadium. Prizes for the highest heels, best time, and best costume. This is not for women. This is for men to put these shoes on and clomp around that track over there. So
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's hilarious to watch. It's hilarious to watch. For more information, you can call Serenity Incorporated at 424-7576. It's a lot of fun to watch. I remember Monty Manchester over at KTLO. He was in it one time. It was hilarious to watch these guys. Clomp, 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 clomp. Wear a helmet. But seriously, domestic violence is prevalent in the northern part of the state, in Baxter and Marion counties and Fulton counties as well. And this is... Serenity is a safe home for victims of domestic violence, and so this is their huge fundraiser. You know, Welcome Island Her Shoes, you know. So $25 minimum donation, get you on the track, clomp around in some women's shoes, clomp, 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 clomp. Wear an ankle brace.
New one, the Baxter County Airport is doing a public information workshop. They're going to be talking about the airport's master plan. And that will be on Wednesday, October 3rd from 2 p.m. to 3:30 at the airport terminal building. It's going to be kind of like an open house format. Just drop in anytime, get information. If you need more information on this, you can give them a call at 481-5418.
The Lone Rock Fire Protection District annual open house is October 6th from noon to 3, rain or shine. Come out and enjoy a special barbecue chicken leg quarter meal. $7 adults, children 12 and under are $6. Registered to win a Ruger American Predator 6.5 rifle. And you can win a Yeti Roadie or a $250 Walmart gift card.
It's a lot of fun, and it's good barbecue.
I bet it is.
Somebody that does a great job.
In these volunteer fire departments, I mean, what can you say? Because sometimes thank you is just so shallow. Because a lot of these are all volunteer. If they get an alarm at 10:30 at night and it takes till 3 a.m. to extinguish, they still have to go to work the next morning. So, you know, some fine folks right there. So come out and enjoy a great time at Lone Rock Fire Protection District. Before we go to break, I've got a few thank yous I want to hand out. We had a big evening over here last night. The governor was in town, and the governor came in and recorded 45 minutes. I want to thank Scooter right here, my director engineer, coming in at 4:30 and brought in a case of water and stuff like that, and we had it all set up. The governor was here. Of course, when the governor comes, you get an entourage of 3 or 4 or 5 extra people. And to Gil Reynolds, thank you. Gil came in and helped out, and to Matt for coming in and assisting with the cameras, and then Bob Zadora and Dr. Jake Long, Mountain Home Superintendent, and Baxter County Chairman for the Republican Party, Brian Plumley was here. We'll air that show on Friday. It'll be the Friday down on the corner.
Yep.
But thank you for your work yesterday. You know, when you get a high-level politician in like that, it's a little bit more edgy than just the everyday stuff we do. So it was fun.
Yeah,
But
it was a good time.
It was a good time. So
I'll always like to see him. He's a good guy.
yeah. Anyway, time for a break. Dennis Dunderdale's here for Arkansas Game and Fish. Going to be visiting with Dennis, so stick around. Be right back.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Our roll burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
Why would I recommend Hospice the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
So there I was, naked as a jaybird in the shower with soap in my hair and eyes when I lost water pressure down to a dribble. I immediately grabbed my towel and dialed up Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service. Jake came right over and fixed my water pressure. Now I can take my showers with confidence. Just call Jake.
For all your sales and pump needs, just call Jake at JM Sales and Pump Service, 870-431-5445. He offers high-quality stay-right product.
Nemus Pizza. $7:18 on this last Wednesday of September. Can you imagine we're going into the fourth quarter coming Sunday night, into October 1st?
It's went quick.
Usher in the last quarter.
Tempus fugit. back to my Catholic parochial school days when we had to learn Latin.
Oh boy!
Hey, do me a favor and turn his mic where it's pointed towards him. There we go.
Yep.
How's that better?
Yeah.
That's better.
Excellent. Okay.
So how you been, Dennis? Good to see you.
I've been great.
Hey, thanks for the hat. Scooter can't wear his because he's got headphones on right now.
Yeah, we need to get you some earbuds there, Scooter. There's got to be a better solution than that. Although you look good with those earbuds.
I look like Jed Clampett. Need to be whittling.
Yeah, that's right, down by the cement pond.
So how you been?
I've been good. I know I haven't been here, 2 months it's been?
Yeah, something like
I
that.
wasn't here for July. I was in Cape Cod for that. And I think I was here for August. No, I wasn't here for August.
You had to go to Little Rock last minute.
I called at the last minute to Little Rock. That's right.
And we tried to get it rescheduled, but we couldn't. I mean, I'm already booked in October, so we're booking November now.
Yeah, well, I think I'm on for every last Wednesday.
Yeah, every last Wednesday. Yeah, that's an automatic.
It's on my calendar anyway. Yeah. Well, there's a lot going on. Obviously, we're coming up to that time of year. Scooter, I know you're getting excited about deer season.
Oh, bring it on.
I was writing my show notes this morning, and I started to say deer season is coming, and I had to scratch it out and say, no, it's not. It's already here. Archery season opened this past Saturday, and I don't have to tell any archers that. They already know it.
They're already in the woods, aren't they?
I have to say, personally, for me, and I applaud anybody who wants to get out in the woods and do whatever it is they're going out. Well, I got to be careful how I say that, but going out to hunt, let's say, or to partake in the great outdoors. But man, when it's in the 90s, I'm just not the kind of guy who's gonna go.
You know, it just seems like this summer has been the muggiest, one of the
Oh.
muggiest summers. I don't mind 90 degrees, but when you pull up the phones and you say a dew point of 73
Yeah.
at 90 degrees, I mean, it's like where the air, you know.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Well, anyway, as you guys were saying with the weather report, that's all changing.
Yep.
Yeah, I think hopefully we've turned that corner. I thought we turned the corner a few weeks ago. But
I did too.
anyway, so here we are. Season is open, archery season, of course. And with that, I wanted to talk about a couple of just general reminder kind of things. Some of the things that catch me, by surprise when it's too late is like, oh my gosh, rifle season opens next week, and I haven't sighted in my rifle yet.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the range since whenever. Now's a good time to do that. We've got a couple of Game and Fish staffs a couple of really, really good ranges. One of them is down in Mayflower at Camp Robinson. Mm-hmm. It's called the Dr. James Moore range, and it's got a rifle range, pistol range, shotgun range, 3D archery range, and it's really, really well done. And it's not expensive. It's like $3 for the pistol and rifles, and $4 a round for the trap and trap and skeet. And I don't think they've got sporting clays yet. I know they're working on it. They may, but I don't want to be a liar, so I'm not sure if they do or not. But anyway, so get on down there, and if that's too far out of your way, we also have a range over in Sillamore on Route 5. Route 5 South between Calico Rock and
It's right on the
Allison
highway.
or Mountain View. Allison is that little intersection
Right.
where Anglers is, just below Jack's Resort. But about halfway between there and Calico Rock is that Sillamore range. We've partnered with the Forest Service, and that's an unstaffed range. There's that's self-governed. And, I've never heard of one lick of trouble at that range with people, just being yahoos, and folks do a pretty good job of keeping it, cleaned up and policed, and most folks collect their brass, and other folks who collect brass come in behind them if they don't. But anyway, those are opportunities there. And then, of course, there's always the private land or, whatever you've got going on. But get out there and sight in, and get that taken care of. If you wait till the week before, you're going to have a long line of folks. I mean, I did that one year. We also got, by the way, Slinging Iron up in Bull Shoals is another good option. Again, these are private businesses, and they're, in business to, to make a profit. They're not unreasonable, though.
Yeah.
And I've taken my rifle up there one time. They have that computerized system where they'll, put in all the specs for what you're shooting and what round and what weight the bullet is and all of that. And they'll get that all dialed in and say, okay, well, at 100 yards it should be, this or that. And then they'll go shoot it at 17 yards because that's their range. And then it interpolates all of that. So I just kind of check it out one time. I think I got a gift certificate for it, actually, is what it was. Wow. And I went up and checked it out. And then I went back to the range and put my rifle in a lead sled. And, man, that thing was dead on. I mean,
Really?
It's just and it... I mean, I got a gift certificate at a fundraiser I was at or something. I can't remember how I got it, but it's like $20, even, which they do all the work. It takes 20 minutes, and you're out of there. I mean, a box of shells, I don't know what you shoot, but Scooter, I'm paying $32 for those Remington 7mm 08s that I shoot. And if you're way off, you'll go through a box of shells just getting on paper. So it's a good option. Anyway, the point I want to make is don't wait till it's too late. Sight your rifles in, get all that, and your muzzle loaders. Don't forget that's coming up as well. So, so all of that needs to be taken care of.
Dennis, you mentioned the archery. I pulled this up. This is the Arkansas Game and Fish site, and I'm under Zone 3 season details, archery, September 22nd of this year through February 28th. Private land, antlerless only, modern gun deer hunt, October 13th through the 17th.
Right.
Muzzle loader is October 20 through 28th and December 8 through 10.
Right.
You have special youth modern gun deer hunt November 3 and 4 and January 5 and 6. Modern gun November 10 through December 2nd and then December 26th, 27th, and 28th.
Yeah, thanks for for running through those dates. I didn't actually have them written down. I was scurrying through my iPad here to pull that up. But we have a huge opportunity for hunting deer in Arkansas. I mean, when you look around the rest of the country, I don't know if we've got the most number of huntable days, but we're right up there with, you know, whoever's got it, you know, more than that. I'll be surprised. But when you consider, if you want to engage in the urban hunt, which is an archery only hunt in Bull Shoals, Lakeview, there's other ones down as
that's for
Hot
the
Springs Village,
control,
and
really, yeah.
right, yeah, and those are basically community driven. You know, the community decides they want to do that, and then we kind of help them set it up. But the Bow Hunters Associations kind of take care of that in Bull Shoals. It's the Bull Shoals Bow Hunters Association that does it. But if you take into that, you can hunt deer from September 1st till the last day of February.
Mm-hmm.
That's what?
It's a long time.
season.
Is that 6 months? Is that right? Is it September,
Yeah,
October,
basically,
November,
yep.
December, January, February? Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Half a year.
that's half the year, and there's a reason for that. We have a lot of deer, and we're trying to manage that, and we're really encouraging folks to.
What's the annual harvest for the modern gun? Do you have a count?
Well, yeah, I could look that up.
That's normally the big one in November. You know. While Dennis is doing that, let's throw this zone map up to remind everybody. We're in Zone 3 in this part of Baxter County because we're north of the White River.
Right.
You can be south of the White River in Baxter County and wind up in Zone 2. And so as you see on this map, let me see if, I don't know if I can increase the size of that at all. Let me try it one more. Okay, it's a little bit bigger. This is the White River here that comes in. This is Highway 1462, but you can see as it comes across, the White River comes down across here. These light green counties showing up, that's North Baxter, Fulton, Randolph, Sharp, half of Lawrence, part of Independence, and Izard counties. And then Zone 2 is the other side of the White River that has part of Stone County, Searcy, part of Marion, part of Boone, because actually extreme North Boone County is still in Zone 3. According
That's
to this
right.
map.
Yep. Yeah, and you really do have
Divided
to,
by Highway 14 as it goes up towards Omaha.
I like to remind people that if you're just going out trying to find a place to hunt, there's a lot of national forest out there, but you need to look up what forestry district you're in, because
Forestry District.
you will have your own restrictions for that forestry area.
Okay.
So
Scooter, that's a really good point, and I'm glad you brought that up. In addition to the zones, each game and fish deer management zone, and the reason that those are broken down as finely as they are, we get a lot of criticism because there's so many zones, but what we're really trying to do is manage the area for the population of that area instead of just kind of painting it with a broad brush and say, okay, we're going to have three. Well, there's just too many different types of terrain and too many different conditions and situations. So that's why they do that. So each zone has its own set of rules. The most common one is 6 deer, 2 of which can be bucks. 3-point rule on the bucks, meaning that there has to be at least 3 points on one side of the rack. And there's a few other restrictions as well, but that's the most common one. However, some of them have a 4 deer rule, some of them have a 1 buck rule, some of them have shotgun only, some of them have other. Yeah, so you really have to look. But what Scooter is saying is absolutely true, is when you get into the federal lands, each one of those is an individual zone as well. Or if you're on a wildlife management area,
So
you
you
want to
can
look
have
at the
a zone
zone
within
and
a
then
zone.
look at the, and then you do. You have a zone within a zone. That's exactly right.
Now, when
So-
you say shotgun, what do you, I mean, looks like that's, I mean, you could barely hit the corner of the building with some of the shot. You have to have a full choke modified. What are you using on deer with
No,
shotgun?
what you do is there's 2 approaches to it. One is with what they refer to as buckshot, which is a much larger pellet, about the
Right.
size of your baby fingernail, and they vary in size. There's single-aught, double-aught buck is kind of a
Lead
real
or
common
steel?
term, but lead, and different size buckshot. And there's, in double-aught, I want to say for a 12-gauge 3-inch shell, I want to say there's 9 of those in there. So they're pretty big, and there's a lot of powder, so they're moving. They also have a different type of shell called a slug, which is a single projectile. Nickname for that is a pumpkin ball, or at least that's what we used to call
Yeah,
them
we
as
had a
kids.
set of slugs for Dad's 16-gauge pump.
Exactly, yeah. And the whole concept there is it's sort of like the archery concept. It's a closer game. You've got to get in closer. You're not going to make 150, 200 yard shot with a buckshot or with a slug. So
what's a safe distance? 20 yards?
Yeah, well, 20 yards is great if you can get in that. If you can get in that.
I mean,
close,
that deer.
sure.
I mean, the deer. I mean, you seem like with shotgun, deer's gonna be halfway up the stand.
50, 60 yards.
Yeah.
Is I mean, and again, it depends on the shooter.
Yeah.
You've got to know, and that's a point I want to come back to. But you've got to know what your effective range is, and of course, it's going to be different for a shotgun than it would be for a slug than it would be for shot and that sort of thing.
What do you use? What do you use, Scooter?
I got either 30-30, 30-06.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty rifle. Yeah. Hey, it's 7:30. We need to take a quick break. Time goes so fast when Dennis is here because there's so much cover.
I got 3 pages of notes.
He needs to do 2 days worth.
You remember those sit covers as to be continued? We need to schedule them for 2 days. Anyway, we'll be right back. Dennis right after this. Nemus Pizza in Gassville, Arkansas is your home for national and international award-winning pizza. Nemus Pizza offers artisan-made award-winning pizza with only the freshest and finest of ingredients. Each pizza is made from scratch and hand-tossed at the time you place your order. And also check out their calzone strombolis, an oven-baked folded pizza stuffed with your choice of meat. Sauce can be on the side or included inside at your request. Nemus Pizza in Gassville, Arkansas, your home for award-winning pizza.
You've tried medications just cover up the pain, and you've tried dieting to help lose weight. Before you try something drastic like surgery to get rid of the numbness and tingling, why don't you try a better approach to health? Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Osgood, and at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we heal the whole person the natural way.
At Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we take a hands-on approach to chiropractic care, massage therapy, and nutritional counseling. Our 20 years of service has led to successful results.
When I come in to see Dr. Osgood, sometimes after one adjustment, I have immediate relief. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 adjustments.
I recommend Mountain Home Family Chiropractic because it really works and keeps me pain-free.
Mountain Home Family Chiropractic supports the community by donating to Mountain Home Food Basket and the Lions Club. Request an appointment with us today at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic. Excellence for your body and frame alignment.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians, and our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car truck to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
With a large showroom of over 13,000 square feet, the Furniture Depot is your local choice for quality name brand furniture at prices anyone can afford. They carry a great selection of catnapper recliners, power recliners with lumbar support and lift chairs. Check out Furniture Depot's variety of living room and dining room sets in various styles and designs. And don't forget about their mattress gallery featuring Serta, Symbol mattresses, and adjustable beds. Family owned and operated, that's Furniture Depot, located in the Ozark Shopping Center in Mountain Home. .33, continuing with Dennis Dunderdale, Arkansas Game and Fish. And so during the break, we're talking about chronic wasting disease, and this has been prevalent since February of 16. So we're coming up.
I've had a lot of people ask me about that.
I've got the map on what we have here. This is the, we have CWD now in Benton, Washington, Sebastian, Pope, Newton, Searcy, Marion, Boone, Carroll, Madison counties. And let me see if I can increase this map size here. That's a little bit better on the screen there. So this
move up a little bit. You can cut off the top.
Back it out a little bit.
And there's another map too. It's this one here, Dale. That might be easier for the viewers to see it. It's just the CWD map. That covers some other things as well. That's showing where the hot samples were found.
Okay, where'd you find that map there?
It is, if you go to that home page, go back to the, go up there.
Okay. Oop. And one more. Okay, that should be
Okay, now go to that article on the right.
right here. Okay.
Yep. And there's a map. Scroll down. There's a map in there on that. Uh-oh. Maybe it's a hot link to the map.
That is right there, I bet. Well, what did I do wrong, Dennis? Okay, let's go back here.
Let's see. I can.
Excuse us, folks. We're trying to find this map for folks to visit.
Well, he's finding that. I guess I do have to work with you so you can get that. Guidebooks. It's not there.
How'd you get? You got?
Right there. Click that CWD thing right there.
Where?
Right in the middle of the page. In the middle of the article. Go up, 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 up.
Here?
Up, right there. Is that the one you just clicked?
I don't know.
It sure is.
Taxidermists, veterinarians,
Just click the. Click that. No, that's just a. Well, I don't know. My iPad just had it on this. On the page.
Yeah, he's getting it on the iPad through the internet, and I can find it here.
Well, rather than have dead time and customers going for coffee and then changing the channel. What I do want to say, firstly, 5 new counties have been added, mainly in northwest Arkansas. Now, we kind of knew about that at the end of last year, and I remember discussing that on the show, but now they're actually in the zone. And the way that they're managing it now, the previous regulation was and I'm going to just say whole carcass deer, and then I'll describe what that means in a minute because it gets a little bit involved. But no whole carcass deer could be taken out of the CWD zone. Now we have a 2-tier zone. Mm-hmm. We've got the original, not the original, but the 5 primary counties, and you can see on the map there where those dots are.
Mainly Boone, Newton, Carroll, Madison, Searcy.
That's exactly right. Yep. Mm-hmm. Did I say 5? I think it's actually 4. But those counties.
And it's funny, it was concentrated so much to Newton County.
Right.
When we first start bringing this up.
Mm-hmm. And it still is. I mean, if you look at the map and squint your eyes to make it blurry, that's where the majority is. Now there's still a lot in Carroll and Boone too, and Madison. So
what we need to point out here is where you see the circles, especially look down here at Pope County and Sebastian, that circle encompasses a 10-mile buffer.
Right.
So they're not letting anything past that 10-mile buffer.
Well, it's actually a little bit more than that, Dave.
Is it?
We're not letting anything in or out of the zone, but now we've got a 2-tier zone. We've got the tier 1, which is those 4 primary counties where the majority of these samples were found. And no whole carcasses can be moved out of that 4-county zone. In tier 2, which is the remaining counties, no deer can be moved out of that aggregate zone. They can be moved into the tier 1 zone, but they can't be moved out of the tier 1 zone elsewhere in the state. So what it does is it kind of tightens down and focuses that restriction into where the most high likelihood or the highest likelihood of prevalence is going to be. And what we're trying to accomplish with that is to slow down, or hopefully, God bless us, a flat line of where this is. We know we've got it. We're not going to not have it. It's one of those types of situations where it's not going to go away. But what we are trying to do is control its spread and slow its growth down.
So far, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elk in Searcy County.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else is deer, but I'm not seeing anything else other than the elk at Searcy County, and that's mainly concentrated. It looks like it's south of the Buffalo River there. Well, west of the river as it comes down, I should say. That's kind of odd. And here on this map, Dennis, they've not come east towards the White River, so the boundary line between Marion and Baxter County has not been.
I just found your map.
Okay.
If you back up one page there and go back, or go back to that screen that had all the, I guess a different page.
Let me go back here. Let's go.
Yeah, go back from that one too. You get a lot of screens up, and there we go. Now, go to.
Okay, hunting big game deer.
Yep.
Okay.
Is there a deer-specific hunting regs? Hold on, not there yet.
Do I need to go back one?
No, there's a.
Okay, here's the home page. So we're hunting big game deer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where did I hit that from? Deer, CWD. There should be a CWD tab. Yours doesn't have that. Click that deer thing again.
Here?
No, not that
No.
one. Oh, there it is. CWD related.
Hunting regulations.
Yep,
there it
it's
is right
it's in
there.
there.
There's
There you
that
go.
map. There we go. Excuse us, folks. We finally found it.
Okay, we got it.
Okay, so this is the tier 1.
Right.
Carroll, Boone, Newton, and Madison. So absolutely no deer or elk removed from that area whatsoever.
From that area you've got 4 counties that you can't move out of.
So what, okay, step 1, what do we do in those 4 counties?
Okay, so in those 4 counties, you can take the meat off the bone. You can move deboned meat, a clean skull plate, teeth, or taxidermy products. Okay, those are considered clean. They're low, what we call low risk portions. The whole deer, and you can the whole deer still on the carcass. That's what we don't want you moving, because we're finding that the CWD manifests in the marrow and the brain stem and the lymph nodes and in those types of things which you're going to have. If you clean the deer off, skin it, take the meat off the bone, you're not going to be dealing with bone marrow and those
Do
sorts of
we
things.
want to eat and process deer meat that possibly has CWD?
Well, common sense says no. Now, the CWD and the World Health Organization still contend that there's no evidence
Contamination
that
of the
there's
meats.
that this doesn't transport to humans. However, if you've ever seen a CWD or any other diseased deer for that matter, it's not just CWD. A sick deer is not something you'd look at and say, boy, I can't wait to sink my teeth into that.
Yeah.
So, we're suggesting no. In fact, we're suggesting have that tested. And I wanted to get to that point as well. We've got an array of opportunities to have that deer tested. And essentially what you'll do is take the head with the antlers removed to one of several places. Okay, firstly, on opening weekend, we're going to have, I can't remember how many they've got, but that article that's on the homepage there will list all of where they're going to be. But there's a half a dozen or so locations where you can take your deer, and we'll just take a sample right then and there, give you a number, and then within a few weeks you can go online and look that up, and if it comes back hot, we can identify who we got that sample from, and we'll contact you. But you can research it yourself as well. So you can drop it off opening weekend at one of those locations, much like the old check station days.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sort of like that. Then we also have every regional office, which those are listed also in that article. Every regional office has a drop where you can take the head there. If you don't know how to do it, go to a regional office or call the regional office, better yet, and we'll have a biologist help you out with that.
Dennis, I've got a question here. I'm seeing Johnson and Polk counties and Perry County. That looks like the Arkansas River right there. What's the chances of deer getting water from the Arkansas River? Can that be transported down perhaps into Perry, Conway, Pulaski, and Faulkner counties in future days? Can it be transported? I mean, I know it's a shot in the dark.
It is, and I'm not going to say yes or no, Dale, because I don't know. What we were talking about on the break was maybe having Corey Gray and Dr. Jen Ballard. She's our fairly new, she's been around a couple of years now, but she's our veterinarian and is the state veterinarian as well, for wildlife veterinarian. And we probably ought to have them come on and answer questions like that. My understanding, it is not something that's easily transported or a waterborne kind of illness. It's not a virus or a bacteria or anything like that. It's actually
just
deformed,
a disease.
It's a
within
protein
it?
is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a deformed protein that manifests in the brain and does terrible things to its victim, but it's not contagious in that regard.
So right here at Van Buren and Cleaver counties, we're in the Little Red River Valley, and that would be Heber Springs, Greer Ferris Lake.
Right.
So Van Buren County, yes. CWD, Claiborne, no. And and of course you got the Baxter County, Marion County question, but Bull Shoals Lake Reservoir that's in Marion County, but yet the White River splits the two counties. Baxter's negative, while Marion's positive.
You're bringing up a topic that I feel comfortable saying I'm sure these folks are looking at it. Game and Fish has established a whole new division.
I guarantee you they're taking water samples all over.
Well, not only that, but they're working with the researchers and biologists all over the country and all over the world, in fact, because we're not the only ones with this issue.
Really?
Yeah, and it'll come to any cervid, which is moose, elk, caribou, deer.
Yeah.
What else is in that category? I think that's it. So yeah, I mean, this is not a local issue. This is a global issue.
Is it
and
hereditary in the breeding factors there?
They're thinking no. Again, there's still so much more to be learned about this. They're thinking that it's not necessarily vertically transmitted. It's more horizontally transmitted, meaning generationally.
Yeah.
It does transmit through body fluids, saliva, urine, feces, that sort of thing. I don't know about sperm and that sort of thing, but I'm sure they do.
Waste. That's weird. Anyway,
Yeah.
7:45. I want to give Dennis plenty of time to get through these notes. Quick break. Coming back more with Dennis right after this. Stick around.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
7:47, continue our discussion with Dennis Dunderdale, Arkansas Game and Fish. And so we've had a lot of good discussion here this morning. Where do we need to go next, Dennis?
Okay, well, I want to finish the topic of where you can take your sample to have it tested, because a lot of people want to do that. And we recommend you do it. If you're in the zone, you probably really need to do that. Again, it's not mandatory. We're not tracking other information like who you are, where you live, how many kids you have, or anything like that. We just want to know, we want to gather as much data as we possibly can so that we can, to whatever degree possible, slow the spread of this issue. So the places where I told you about the drop-off sites, and the closest drop-off site to here, as far as I know, is over at the Fred Berry Center.
Okay.
And they've got a freezer over there, and you bring the head with the antlers removed and 6 inches of the neck, and simply put it in there. We'll give it a tag, or there'll be tags there if there's. But you've got to do that one between Tuesday and Saturday during their operating hours, and that's just because they have the gate locked when they're not there. But there's a list of where those drop-off sites are right on the website, so you can go there. The other one is the opening weekend sites. There's five. They've put 5 new ones in those counties where the new positives were found. The regional offices, I think I've mentioned those. There's a list of those on the website as well. Several taxidermists, not all taxidermists, but several taxidermists are offering that. And for taxidermists, those are free, I believe. We pay the taxidermist to take care of that, so they'll do it. And those guys are good. I mean, these people are meticulous by nature anyway, so we get really good samples from them.
I'm seeing Chris Roberts Taxidermy in Marion County, Rogers Taxidermy in Boone County.
Mm-hmm.
That's the closest I'm seeing so far.
Right. And then the other option is there's several veterinarians in the area that will do it as well. And Rob Connor down here at All Creatures right there on 62 across from the zone or in that area of the zone there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you go to a taxidermist, some of them do charge a nominal fee. It's like $30. And Game and Fish doesn't pay for that, so you'll need to do that. But that might be a convenient option for you. So, when you consider what we're talking about, that might be another good way to go. So there's 5 or 6 different ways you can get your sample tested. We talked about the 2-tier system, and tier 1, of course, is Boone, Carroll, Madison, and Newton counties, and then there's a bunch more in the other ones. And by transporting in and out, we're really talking about whole carcass. You can transport meat off the bone, teeth, a clean skull cap, which anybody who's going to mount they know what that's all about. And what was the other one? Oh, taxidermy products. So those are pretty low risk, and we don't mind those moving, but you can't move the meat on the bone, or basically you can't move the bone, those organs, the internal organs, lymph nodes, that sort of thing.
Okay, I'm going to hit you with your dumbest question of the week right here.
Oh, I bet you it's not.
Okay, here. Okay, you've got the compass feature on the phones, and it also gives you your longitude and latitude. So right here we're 36 degrees, 21 minutes, 11 seconds north, 92, 21, 56 west. Should we mark that down where? So we hit the deer. We've trailed we found him. Should we mark the longitude, latitude down so they know exactly where it was located?
That's not a bad idea. What most folks will do is they'll hit the GPS and a waypoint, which is a shortcut version of doing exactly what you just said. So yeah, absolutely mark that location. Now, what we're really concerned about, though, is generally hunters are going to know roughly on the map where they were and where they killed that deer, and that's that deer is going to move a little bit off of that on a daily basis anyway. So it's not all that important whether it was on this side of the fence or that side of the fence. What we want to know is that it was in this location. But if you can give GPS coordinates, that's perfect. All the better. You should be able to do that anyway, so you can mark your tree stands, you can mark where you're going to be, give that information to somebody that's at home, kind of like your hunt plan. So if you don't show up, they know where to start looking, that kind of thing. So yeah, not a bad idea at all. A couple of other points. I want to switch topics if I can. A couple of really important issues. One is hunter safety, of course, and we're totally focused on that. We got our new hunter incident report in the last few weeks. There were 0 fatalities in the state of Arkansas last year, which is great news. I mean, I don't remember that being. I'm sure that's happened, and I could go back and look in the past, but it's been a while if it has happened. However, we had 23 incidents. We consider an incident anything that's beyond first aid level, a reportable. If you cut your finger or something like that and wrap a Band-Aid on it, we're not. But a reportable is one that requires medical treatment beyond the level of first aid. 15 of those, more than half, significantly more than half, were tree stand related. Scooter, you're a hunter. What do you think the most common occurrence of a tree stand fall is? When do you think that happens the most? Climbing up or down, sitting in the tree stand, falling asleep, or some other time?
I would say falling asleep. I would say that there's a lot of people I know of that have fallen asleep up there.
Yeah, I would be lying if I said I've never kind of dozed off in a tree stand. However, I'm always strapped in, so if I do, it's actually climbing up and down.
Really?
And more than that, it's stepping from the ladder onto the platform or off of the platform onto the ladder. And one of the reasons is a lot of folks don't really set their tree stands up the way that they should. And that is, if you've got a lock on, and if you're a tree stand hunter, you'll know what I'm talking about. It would take another show to get into all the ins and outs of tree stands. But the type we're talking about, the most common type is the lock-on type. Not the most common, but the one that I'm talking about now is the lock-on type, where you latch the tree stand onto the tree and then put separate climbing sticks or ladders or some type of manufactured climbing device, not 2x4s nailed onto the tree. Please don't do that. But take that ladder so that it's a few feet higher than the platform, so that when you get to the top, you're stepping down onto your tree stand as opposed to having to step up.
Back up.
And that's when folks usually get themselves into trouble. And the ones that get hurt rarely are wearing their safety harness. And if they are wearing it, they're not clipped in. So we could do a whole show, and we probably should, just on tree stand safety. But there is some good information online. The Tree Stand Manufacturers Association has produced some excellent videos that you can hit on YouTube. We need to put them on our website and link to them. In fact, I'm going to talk to our coordinator, Joe Huggins, about that very thing today. So that's a big deal, but we're thrilled that there were no fatalities last year. However, that's not to say that folks still didn't make mistakes. The last thing, how are we doing on time, Scooter?
It looks like about 4.5 minutes, right?
Oh, okay.
Yep,
So we've
about
got
4.5 minutes.
Okay, the other point I want to make sure I mention is for anybody hunting in public land, meaning a wildlife management area, or WMA as we call them, don't forget you've got to have, a WMA permit. It's free. You can do it online, or you can go to a place that sells licenses, or a regional office, or anything like that. But you've got to have that WMA permit, and we want to keep track of who's using the public land. That gives us a lot of information that we can use to justify, to either expand them or make changes or do whatever it is we're going to do. So
now, does that pertain, because a lot of people don't realize, even though you got private property that's located within that forestry, you have to follow those forestry rules.
That's correct.
Do you have to get a permit?
No, I don't believe you have to have a permit, but you do have to go by the special regs that might be on. For example, I believe you're contained within the National Forest.
Yep.
I mean, the
Sylamore.
The Sylamore Forest, which has its own regs. It's a short season if you're on the North Unit, which
very
is
short season.
Yeah, 9 days as a matter of fact. Yeah, south side, south of Highway 14, has a full season or a longer season. But but yes, you do have to follow all the special regs within the area that your private property is contained, but you don't have to have the WMA permit in order to hunt your own land.
So you're on private property and walk up and you see the purple stripe on some of the trees. What do we need to do there? Is that a no trespassing, slash no hunting, or is that permission only, or what do you do?
No, the purple paint, that's a good point, Dale. The purple paint is like a no trespassing sign.
Yeah.
Really doesn't have as much to do with hunting as it does with trespassing. So that just means this is private property and you don't have permission to be here. If you're hunting and you're on posted private property, you need to have written permission by the landowner to be there. If you're on non-posted private property, verbal permission is okay. Now, to get to your question, if you're walking through the National Forest and you come to purple paint, if you don't have permission, turn around and don't hunt on that land, and don't stand on the public side and shoot an animal on the private side. Yeah. That's the same thing. You're still trespassing. If you shoot on the public side and the deer goes to the private side, you're supposed to go to the landowner and get permission to retrieve that deer. Now, there's some practicality involved in that, but if you're going to be hunting adjacent to private land, it's a really good idea to contact that private landowner and find out where they are with what's going on. And if they don't want you on the land, period, then don't put yourself in a position to do that.
Yeah.
If, however, you do go and the landowner says, I don't care if you shot a deer and he ran onto my land, you're not getting it, call Game and Fish. The game warden will get involved, and they usually are pretty persuasive in letting that landowner let the game warden at least, they can say, hey, he can't, whatever, okay, but we're going to get that deer, because it doesn't belong, the deer does not belong to the landowner. The deer belongs to the state of Arkansas. So it's not that landowner's deer. He can't claim it.
Can you believe we're down to the final minute?
Let's see, what else? We've got a couple of Hunter Ed things going on. Hunter Education, October 27th at the Fred Berry Center in Yellville. That's 8 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. There will be a few others, so watch our website and watch register-ed.com for where elsewhere in the state. Or you can just go to the Game and Fish site, go to hunting, click that, and there's a Hunter Education link there, and it'll take you to where all the hunter education classes are. Anybody born after 1968, if they're hunting on their own or hunting without a mentor, is required to have a hunter education card, so make sure you do that. And not just to meet the requirement, there is a ton of really valuable information in that program.
All right.
My phone number, if you have questions or you want to get a hold of me after the show, is 870-321-5548.
And with that, the fastest hour of the month has just passed by.
This is fun.
We will be back tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow.